So the Spin Factory is my local Frisbee center in Durham, North Carolina, and it actually started out as a bunch of tutorial series, so I just kind of needed a name to call what I was putting out there. But I built this big gym where I've been inviting freestylers to come out and practice with me, and I use it to train new freestylers that I find in Durham, North Carolina. And it's really the first time in my life that I've had my own dedicated space to freestyle in, and it really makes a big difference to have a place that's independent of conditions. I can have people come in, I know we're gonna have a good session and not have to worry about the wind or rain or whatever. And it's been really great for training new freestylers. So in Durham, there's a couple universities around. The biggest one is Duke University, and one of the playing fields at Duke is a really perfect freestyle spot, and it's a historic freestyle spot where people have been jamming since the 1980s. And so I go out there every day. I try to go out there especially when the new semester begins, and I play Frisbee. If I have people to play with, great. If not, I play by myself. And whenever someone comes up and asks me about it, I give them a Frisbee, I give them nails if they want, and I show them whatever they want to learn. And one thing that I think is really key to getting new freestylers is to let them learn what they want to learn. And I found that actually a lot of people want to learn the delay because it's the thing that they've never seen before, and it's really unique to freestyle. And I know a lot of people like to shy away from that because it's so hard and they think they're not going to be able to learn it. But for me, I know that I can get most people to get the feeling of the delay in a few minutes. So if I can throw myself a lot of spin, make it really stable, and just hand it off to somebody, I know that they're probably going to be able to get at least that feel for it. And I remember when I was playing that first time, I just felt the nail delay and I felt like I had a semblance of control. It got me really fired up and made me want to keep learning. And that's what I try to do with the people who approach me. I don't know if there's a specific kind of person who likes to freestyle, but one thing I do think is helpful is to find people that are in a new stage of life. So for me, that's usually people who are beginning their college experience, because people who are kind of in their own routine, they already have what they need in their life, and there might not be room for freestyle. So it's really tempting to think, oh, we should recruit ultimate players or disc golfers or footbaggers or kind of like-minded sports, but that's like a freestyle footballer coming to me and asking me to do it. It's like, well, I already freestyle Frisbee, so I don't need something else in my life. So I try to focus on people who are looking for something that's a little bit different and new and has room in their life to try to do something new. And I really try to be open to all types of people, like whoever you are, whatever you look like, whatever you think. If this interests you, I want to try to give you the avenue to get good at it. And one thing I feel like I should add for people who really want to get new freestylers is persistence does pay off. So for instance, the first year, I went out every single day during orientation at Duke University and I freestyled by myself. And no one came up to me for the first 6 or 7 days. I felt so silly, just out there playing by myself. People would kind of look at me weird, like, what's going on with that guy? And then whether it was the 7th, 8th, or 9th day, suddenly the floodgates opened. And so many people came up to me and they're like, I've seen you do this every day and it's so interesting and I want to figure out how to do that. And it's like, great, like I wasn't just shouting into the void. People were really noticing, and even though it felt silly in the moment, it did pay off. Now, there's still a lot of attrition, for the 50 to 100 people who might come up to me during an orientation week, I'm happy if I get one of them to play for the rest of the semester. And that's a big time commitment. It's a big money commitment of giving all this stuff away. So it's obviously not something everyone can do, but if you're able to do it, you really just have to think like this is a war of attrition. And the more I play, the more I try, and the more I push it, just lottery odds, I'll eventually get someone who wants to freestyle. I think one of my goals for the Spin Factory is to kind of think almost smaller and really pick a few people to try to develop them to the just next level of skill. So I think it's really important that we have more casual freestylers. That's something we really lack. But I also think we have a little bit of a talent gap right now. We're losing one generation of really fantastic players, and we haven't really filled in the ranks with that level of skill. And so one way I want to do this is I want to start inviting people out for long-term stays, like 3 months, 6 months. You come, you basically live in the Spin Factory. We train every day. We try to get you really good. And that's also something I'm kind of doing at Duke. It's like we don't have that many new players. So I really focus on the ones, if they want to play, I make sure that I can go out there and I can train them. And we don't just play, we also try to develop skills. We take 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour or 2 hours to say, what do you want to work on right now? And let's figure out how to get you doing this as quickly as possible. And I think having those top skilled players to really promote the sport and push the sport and show that it's still a sport that's attracting like young people who are interested in doing it is really valuable for us, and I hope to do that with the Spin Factory.